If you want to impress someone, your lady friend, a date, your grandparents maybe, with something special, this will do it. So we are going to visit a good friend of mine who just had her first baby. And of course that's a really exciting moment and I'm really excited to go to see her. Mandy and I were thinking, what is the one thing that could make a young mother really, really happy? And you've guessed it, it's a big fat chunk of homemade brownie. This is a recipe by Chefsteps. They have tried out 10 favorite brownie recipes and they have combined it to one ultimate brownie. So that's what we are going to make. In this recipe there's cocoa powder, Dulce de Leche, that's like a caramel, butter, sugar, 100% pure chocolate and 70% pure chocolate. There's eggs, salt flakes, regular salt, vanilla extract, miso paste, which will make it very, very special. And we are going to make our recipe gluten-free, so we are not going to use regular flour, but we use cassava flour. And there's also some chocolate chunks for in the middle to have some nice chocolatey surprises. So here's how you make the brownie. First you will need the melted chocolate with the butter in a bowl or bain-marie, fancy word for bowl on top of a pan with boiling water. When all the butter and chocolate have melted, take the bowl and pan off the heat. Next, it's time to bring the sugar to 120 degrees boil with some water on a medium-high heat. And we're going to sift the cocoa powder and the flour twice. While the sugar is on the stove, you can mix the cocoa powder and flour. Using a piece of parchment paper will make your life less miserable. Trust me. So now we are almost ready. We are waiting until the sugar is at 110 degrees Celsius. And then we will start beating the eggs until the sugar has reached 120. And then we will combine the sugar and the beaten egg to make it like a caramel-like meringue, which will make this brownie a little bit airy, but also chewy and crispy on the outside. When the sugar has reached 110 degrees, it's time to start beating the eggs. The eggs will need around 5 minutes of a good beating. And when the sugar is up to temperature, you don't want to forget to turn the mixer to low speed. Otherwise, you will get yourself in a hot, sticky mess. Make sure you inspect the machine with a sturdy look. Now I'm going to pour in the molten chocolate and butter mixture. Make sure you scrape all the goods from the side so everything is mixed evenly. And of course, always be tasting. Always be tasting and cleaning. Then it's time to add some goodies. Okay, now we mix in the miso paste, salt, and the vanilla. When everything is thoroughly mixed, it's time to put in the cacao and the flour. And because we've sifted it twice, I've been told, we can put it in one time. And now make sure to start slow, because otherwise it will be... After a first slow spin, make sure you scrape all the dry goods from the sides and let it mix for a couple of minutes. In the meantime, say simsalabim and get yourself a metal baking tray, sprayed with oil and filled with a perfectly fitting piece of parchment paper. Then it's time to build the brownie, but not after you've tasted your own chocolate brew. Okay, so now we're going to layer the brownie. We start with like 1/3. Start with 1/3 of the batter and save the rest. Okay, then we have the Dulce de Leche and we're going to spoon half of the caramel in dollops in the baking tray and mix in with the skewer. With the chocolate chunks in the middle, you'll get a nice chocolate surprise when you cut the brownie. Then top it off with the rest of the batter and dollop the rest of the caramel and repeat the skewer trick. We still have the Maldon Salt flakes to make it extra. It's almost brown time. Now we wait. Bake in an oven on 180 degrees Celsius for about 45 minutes. Very happy. You see, look closely, it's like set and crispy. And now we have to let it rest for this night, and then tomorrow morning we'll be able to cut it and then make everybody orgasm in their mouth. Next time you go to visit a friend who just had a baby, make sure you make something special. Clap your hands, just clap